All right, we are a go. Ladies and gentlemen, what you see in front of you are all the horror films I have seen in 2025. Now, some of them, if you Google them, like The Rule of Jenny Penn, this one right here, it will say it came out in 2024. A few of these might say that only because they either hit a film festival last year, like Toronto, Cannes, Sundance, or maybe it's a foreign film and it didn't get its full international release until this year. I consider all these to be 2025 releases solely for the reason that they either first hit US theaters this year or they became available for me to watch on streaming services this year. I'm a United States citizen, so that's sort of my criteria. Now, I was supposed to originally do a top 10 best horror films of 2025, but I didn't, because if you see this lineup, it's kind of ass. I did a top 10 best horror films of 2024 last year. It's still my best video, best in terms of like my biggest video. I think it's got maybe like 13,000 views, a little bit more than that. I loved it. I love recommending all those horror films because some of them are hidden gems, some of them are foreign films, and I just like to talk around horror cinema. It's my favorite genre with my favorite art form, movies. Well, this year I've seen, I think this is 34 2025 horror films, and I gotta say, this year's been kind of shit. Like, and maybe I'm saying that only because 2024 we were just fed greatness. We had off the top of my head, Exhuma, Oddity, The First Omen, is that it? No, that's not it. Hold on, let me think. For Better For Worse, Alien Romulus, Longlegs. We had Mads. We had Frogman. We had a lot. We had a variety, and I felt like throughout the year it was consistent. We just kept having peak after peak after peak, and now, we got. We got Coyotes, which let's just go ahead and put that in the cheeks category. That shit sucked. This is a normal average tier list from S. We got goated, A, awesome, B, pretty good, C, in the middle, mid, it's kind of, should you watch it? I don't know, maybe not. D, not good. F, speaks for itself. It is cheeks magunda. If anything is an F, ignore it. In fact, if I'm being honest, if anything's in D, you should probably ignore that too. It's just not as bad as F. Alright, so Coyotes is an F tier. That's a great start because this movie was pitiful. I could like a horror comedy. This one I don't like. Now, I'm not the type to just throw an allegation, but for this one, I'm going to throw out an allegation. I'm pretty sure the Coyotes were all AI. AI generated, no CGI. Oh, Swans, what's the difference? Shut up. Nobody likes you. No, I'm kidding. It's distracting. There's like comic book artwork that also just feels AI. Artificial, plastic, no love, no soul. Does not look good. Justin Long couldn't save this movie. It was a little funny, but nothing crazy. There's better horror comedy in this list. All right, moving on to Shelby Oaks. Chris Stuckman, my goodness. I love Chris Stuckman. Well, I don't love him, but I mean, he was a big inspiration. When I was growing up, in middle school, I used to watch him. For those who don't know, Shelby Oaks is directed by a YouTuber, movie critic YouTuber, Chris Stuckman, one of the biggest ever do it. This is his directorial debut, and we're going to go ahead and put this... A lot of people would say this is F or D. I'm going to put it in C. It wasn't horrible. The ending was horrible. The build-up wasn't bad. I had fun with it. It had some good scares. In fact, if we're talking purely just tension and dread, this is one of the better horror films on this list. There's not a lot here that I would say is effectively scary. Shelby Oaks has some good scares. It's just the writing, the story, the ending that really drag it down. Alright, now we get The Monkey, Osgood Perkins, same director of Longlegs, and he has a new film coming out like right around the corner, Keeper. A lot of people on film Twitter do not like Osgood Perkins. I don't mind him. I'm going to say this is also C. I think I enjoyed it a bit more than Shelby. It could be a B, to be honest. I did not hate The Monkey. This, I think, was overhated. It's a horror comedy, and it's very different than any other Perkins films because my thing with Osgood Perkins is he takes his movies way too seriously. It's like Robert Eggers before Eggers found his funny bone. They are just so melodramatic and like almost forced art housey, if that makes sense. Watch Gretel and Hansel if you want, what I'm trying to say visualized. I don't hate him. I don't hate his movies. I really loved his directorial debut, The Black Coat's Daughter. Still his best film. I think Longlegs was overhated because it was overhyped. I liked Longlegs. I thought it was cool. Nothing too insane, but still pretty good. I would highly recommend The Black Coat's Daughter if you are a fan of psychological horror. That's his best film. The Monkey is a horror comedy based off I think a Stephen King novel, and it stars Theo James. He plays a very funny, dynamic role. He plays two characters, the protagonist and the antagonist. He plays twins, and it was pretty funny. But then again, even it's like Osgood Perkins is his own fucking limitation. Like, even in a horror comedy with bizarre deaths, feels like it's supposed to be in the same vein of a Final Destination. Even with this ridiculous concept of a monkey causing random violent deaths to anybody surrounding it, it's still not as crazy as it could have been, because I feel like the seriousness... okay, so post-edit. By seriousness, I mean the style of filmmaking. Yes, the movie does have funny, kind of goofy deaths. Like, I understand the head decapitation, I understand the shotgun scene, but I just think his style of filmmaking, how he chooses to shoot scenes, to pace them, to write them, it definitely did restrict the... I would say ridiculousness, the potential ridiculousness of the story. This is easily his least serious film, and there are some funny, bizarre deaths, but the bizarre level wasn't as crazy as I felt like it could have been, but it's not bad. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. Bloodlines. Speaking of Final Destination, bro, this is an A. Shoot me, kill me, I don't know. I don't want to hear an argument. We don't listen to arguments. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for the Final Destination franchise. I think it's my favorite horror franchise. Consistently, nearly every movie is fun, and that's because they follow such a simple formula of death kills people one by one. It's essentially just a slasher movie, except there's no slasher. It's just a gust of wind that just causes death everywhere. I love these movies as a kid. I rewatched all of them recently. I ranked them from best to worst if you want to see that video. I think Bloodlines is the top 3 in the franchise. I think it's up there with Final Destination 2, Final Destination 5. I think it's better than Final Destination 3, the most overrated Final Destination movie. I'm just saying how it is. Not a bad movie, still good, but I mean, it's iconic. It's iconic, so it's the best. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's got some of the best deaths. You know, the tanning bed scene, the roller coaster scene. Yes, top tier death, top tier murder. I love violence. But I don't know. It's okay. I think the Bloodlines characters are better than the Final Destination 3 characters. Let's just keep it a buck. But I do enjoy Final Destination 3. I enjoy really all of them besides the 4th one, the dog shit one. That one, I think most people can agree, is horse ass. You know it's not. Let's go ahead and put our first S tier banger. Sinners is goated. Big facts. Big facts. Sinners, I don't care how contrarian people want to be. I don't care how far up it came out in the year, if it was March, April, May, whatever the fuck. I will not forget you, Sinners. You're still amazing. Fun vampire horror film. It's basically a reskin of From Dusk Till Dawn, but okay, saying that simplifies so much. It has way different themes. It's going for a different story, even though it does follow a similar structure. First half, we followed normal characters in an almost completely different genre than the second half, where the second half becomes a action horror violent vampire film that's just ridiculous and insane. I think the absurdity is cranked up more in From Dusk Till Dawn, but I think the vampire segment, I enjoyed it more in Sinners than in From Dusk Till Dawn. I think From Dusk Till Dawn has a better setup, has a better first half, but the vampire shit, I enjoyed it a lot more in Sinners. And Sinners has the best scene out of not only just both films. So far, I think it's still my favorite scene of the year. Which, by the way, I'm not going to spoil anything in this video. None of these movies will be spoiled. The scene I'm talking about in Sinners, I'll just say, involves music. That is still the best scene of the year. One of the best films of 2025. It's still top 10. I'm hoping it stays that way, but there's obviously still many more movies to come. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. I can't think of the other. Oh, who's that beautiful woman? Wait, there's no beautiful woman. I have a girlfriend, and she's more beautiful than anyone else. I can't say that. I forget. But either way, goats. Thank you. Yeah, we needed Sinners. It's not necessarily scary. mind you, most of these aren't scary. Unfortunate 2025 mid. But it's still fun. It's still fun. It's still action-packed. And it's got a great antagonist. Sammy! Alright, Sinners, our first ever S tier. Hell yeah. Alright, now we got Wolfman. This was, I think, the first film I watched in the theaters. It was the first movie I watched with my girlfriend in the theaters. This came out in January. Now, mind you, if you're a regular cinema goer, you will notice that most films in January and February are ass. They just dump out all the bad shit. Now, that's not the case for every single film. Like, the next film came out in January, and I got things to say. But let's focus on Wolfman. Wolfman was... It's either F or D. It wasn't horrible. It's not Coyotes level. It just was not that good. It was very forgettable. Disappointing, too. It's the same director of The Invisible Man, and he did something else. Did he do Lights Out? I forget if he did Lights Out. No, he did Upgrade. He did Bro, how do you do Upgrade and do this shit? What? Upgrade is so good. I highly recommend Upgrade. That is a fantastic action horror film with I'll say a great ending. I'll keep it at that. But yeah, Wolfman, forgettable. The Rule of Jenny Penn. This came out on Google. It's going to say 2024, but it hit U.S. theaters 2025 early. I think in January. This may have been the first film I watched. Either this one or Wolfman. This is still one of the weirdest films I've seen all year, and I loved it. This is an A, bro. This is a high A. I think I like this more than Bloodlines, yeah. Weird, strange movie. To quickly summarize, it's about a senior citizen who has a stroke, and he needs to be put in a retirement home to be taken care of. He can't take care of himself anymore. He's hitting that age, unfortunately. When he gets to this retirement community, there's another old guy there, the antagonist, who spends all of his free time harassing, belittling, bullying every single other senior citizen there. And I'm talking harassment. Like, he is psychologically, physically, sexually, mentally tormenting all these other old people for no reason. He's just a psychopath. Like, the most spiteful, psychopathic villain I've seen in a long time. And it's such an insane, bizarre performance and an absurd movie. It's filmed in almost like a surreal nightmare way. There's so many shots that are just bizarre, and you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? And it's not even necessarily scary. It's just super uncomfortable. Very disturbing, but also it walks on a thin line of being a black comedy. This movie was really funny too, and it's so weird. I know I keep saying weird and strange. That's the best way to describe this film. There's only one other film I've seen this year that even compete in that argument of what's the weirdest shit I've seen all year. And it's actually going to be the next A tier, The Shrouds, directed by David Cronenberg. Did I enjoy it more than Rule of Jenny Penn? I'll put it right behind it. These two, if you ever want to see a weird movie, these two are your go-to. I would probably recommend The Rule of Jenny Penn a bit more. It's just more bizarre. But the Shrouds, directed by David Cronenberg, I mean, it's Cronenberg. The guy made Videodrome, Crash, The Fly, History of Violence, Existence. Cronenberg has been making weird body horror, sexual, fucked up shit forever, and he is still doing it, well in his 80s. I enjoyed The Shrouds a lot, but it is definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea. This movie has some flaws, or I wouldn't even say flaws. It has choices. It has choices, and they're going to be looked at as flaws to some people. Completely understandable. If you don't like the dialogue, trust me, I get it. I liked it for some reason. It just fit this universe very well. This film, again, unfortunately, is not very scary like all the other ones. Well, like most of these. But then again, that's because 2025, a lot of these horror films were just not trying to be scary. A lot of these are horror comedy, horror action, or just flops. It just sucks. But I mean, The Shroud's not really going for scary horror. It's more just a drama, a psychological, weird, sexual art house drama that it's very bleak. I will say that. It's very depressing knowing that the world is headed towards this, if not already there. But it's great. It's great, and some of you will hate it. But some of you, hopefully like me, will think it's great. Hell of a Summer, the directorial debut of Finn Wolfhard and someone else. It's so disrespectful. I'm sorry. Who starred in it? Shit. Finn Wolfhard starred in this. He co-directed and co-wrote it with the co-star. The other main character, the actor, I believe also co-wrote this and co-directed this with Finn Wolfhard. I'm gonna keep it in B. I liked it. I think this is a good, funny horror slasher comedy. It's definitely Gen Z. If you're a fan of Bodies, 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 or It's What's Inside, you should check out Hell of a Summer. I found the humor to be, it matched me. I thought this was I was laughing pretty consistently throughout this film. Yeah, it was a good movie. The Ugly Stepsister. Okay, now we're getting a little controversial. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a, it's not C. I was gonna put this in C. It's not C. It's a low B. This is, to me, the most overrated horror film of the year. When I say overrated, Swans, nobody, who the fuck knows about the Ugly Stepsister? Ugly Stepsister in the film community seems to be like the biggest hidden gem of 2025. Like, oh, check out the Ugly Stepsister, you're gonna love it. I watched this in theaters. It's okay, it's pretty good. It's nothing insane. I don't understand the hype. It's a body horror film, and it's a rated R take on the Cinderella story told from the perspective of the Ugly Stepsister. I understand its theme. I like its message. It doesn't do a whole lot, though. It's verbatim what I just said on paper. Like, it's quite obvious. I feel like the story just doesn't have the juice, if that makes sense. Like, the horror was okay. The characters were okay. It was beautifully shot. Other than that, it was like, I'm bordering on putting it in C, bro. Nah. It was well shot. It was well acted. It's a low B. It was pretty good. Nah, that's why it's in B. I will say, body horror wise, it's not as crazy as I was hoping it would be, except not the final scene, but there is a scene in the final act that was disgusting. I love that scene. That was good. No spoilers, but there is one incredibly gross scene in this film. That was a good scene. Bone Lake, another horror comedy in the same vein of It's What's Inside. And I really enjoyed the first two acts. I think the final act, everything became, when they explained like the reveal and whatnot, it just became very predictable, very one note, and it just sort of lost me. The build-up was really fun. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in C. I think I liked it a bit more than Shelby Oaks, but I think The Monkey's better. I feel like this genre is getting a lot more popular, where you have young adults, young couples going to a secluded area, and they're being tested with their relationships, on their loyalty, on their boundaries. There's a lot of sexual tension around, while also there's some horror shit going on in the background, like a slasher or some paranormal shit. It's a genre that's losing me pretty fast. It's not that crazy anymore. The first two acts were fun. Nothing else. A cat just crawled through my fucking window. Hold on. Hey, Yogi Kitty. You want to be in the YouTube video? You want to be in the YouTube video? Let's be in the YouTube video. Yogi Kitty. Hey, Yogi Kitty. It's okay. Are you okay? You know, it's funny. I've never seen this cat before. What? Yeah, I have my window open because the air feels good, and yeah, Buddy just came in. So, all right. Next up, we got Bring Her Back. I'm not gonna lie, another disappointment. I was really excited. Okay, it's not a bad film. This is the second feature-length film from the Filippo brothers. I believe I'm pronouncing the name right. They did Talk to Me in 2022. Talk to Me is a better film. Bring Her Back, I felt like it was shooting higher, but airballing, if that makes sense. The body horror is great. The acting is great. The story, it wants us to feel emotions that I just think are just not deserved. Like, it feels a bit melodramatic, a bit kind of gliding on misery porn. Not fully there, but I think the writing should have been stronger for us to connect to these characters, for it to feel like it's accomplishing its intended goals. Like, the story is not as well written as it is trying to be. Oh my god, he's climbing on my bed. Hold on. He's chilling. Where should I put this? Bring Her Back is a C. It's not horrible. It was okay. It's a high C. I'll say, high C. The artist. Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. Give me 1 second. Where's OBS? Jokichi, you cannot do this. But yeah, Bring Her Back was it was okay. I'm excited for whatever else the brothers are doing. They have a clear vision. This seemed to be inspired by a lot of French extreme horror films. There's some great body horror. There's definitely some extremely graphic, gory scenes that will make you cringe. Other than that, okay. It may be a low B, if I'm being honest. I think I'm giving it a little too much. I'm not even overhating it. I genuinely think it wasn't too crazy. Maybe on a rewatch it'll be a better experience. But I'm gonna keep it in C right now. But I might put it in B. Let's go. Long Walk. That's a B. This one's pretty good. I'm surprised they were able to do as much as they did. like the Royal Jenny Penn long looks like a baby with long legs. But yeah, the Long Walk, they did a lot with just the simple premise of you walk or you get fucking shot by your government. So that's very cool. I know it's a Stephen King adaptation, so shout out Stephen King. Also The Monkey. What, does he have any more Stephen King adaptations this year? I don't think so. I think all these, unfortunately, have come from the minds of hacks. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, The Long Walk, Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson yet again, giving his all, saving a somewhat mid-horror film. The Long Walk is better than Alien Romulus, but David Johnson is the star of both of those films. This guy knows what he's cooking. I love David Johnson. I am a David Johnson lover. I mean, I'm a big fan. And yeah, the Long Walk, pretty good. This, I will say, is one of the better movies in terms of just suspense and tension building. It does get very intense in times. This is a good B. Companion, overrated. C, it was okay. It was okay. It was fun. Like I said, in the same vein of like a Bone Lake. It's what's inside. Bodies. We've seen it before. Dangerous Animals. This is a D. Slasher horror film with Jai Courtney, whatever, about a guy who's obsessed with sharks. There's one shot in this film that I thought looked really good, and it was with a girl in the middle of the ocean at night, and there's a floodlight shining on her. That looked amazing. Other than that, yeah, it was okay. It's not that good, bro. Why were we giving so much ass? It's not that good. It's another hidden gem, but it's not that good. It's not horrible, but it's not that good. Opus, another D, bro. Oh my god, is this the part of the video where, oh dude, I'm looking at this lineup. It's about to get negative. Ayo is such a talented actress, dude. I don't know why. Fucking Malkovich was in this shit too, dude. It's The Menu. It's basically The Menu, Midsommar. We've seen this genre before, and I'm glad the people are waking up, because this shit flopped. Box office, reviews. This was an A24 psychological horror. These shits usually bang. No. People are done. This was a flop. And I'm hoping in the years to come, I mean, it's probably already dying out. Like, I think people are getting tired of this genre. You gotta spice it up or bounce, dude, because this shit it wasn't even horrible. It was just, you came in, came out, okay, that's it. And sometimes those are the worst films. But yeah, not terrible dog shit. Black Phone Part 2. I'm not a fan of either one of these films, but Part 1 was a bit better. Part 2 is a D. The best part about this film, I would say, no, Opus is better. Hold on, let's put Opus. Opus is probably the strongest film in D. Wolfman better than Jane. Yeah, I like the setup. Okay. Black Phone Part 2, it has flashback sequences. No, not flashback sequences. It's nightmare sequences. And they're filmed in such... I wouldn't be surprised if they filmed in like 16 millimeter. Very, very grainy cinematography. Absolutely beautiful. There's got to be a horror film that's just shot entirely like that. It looks so beautiful. So eerie. Best part about the film by far. Other than that, it's a dumb dog shit take on A Nightmare on Elm Street. And it's just not that good. It's not that fun. It just drags. And your antagonist is called the Grabber. It's insane. Especially when he's a pedophile. Why is he called the Grabber? I mean, I know why he's called the Grabber, but I can't take him serious. He's in Fortnite. What is the Grabber doing in Fortnite? What are we doing here? I don't give it. Next film, Good Boy. Oh my god, dude. Good Boy is such a disappointment. I recorded a video too. I just haven't uploaded it yet. But Good Boy, I will always support indie cinema. Budget is never really a problem for me. I'm usually able to just dive in, immerse myself into really any film of like any time period, any budget, like I can live with it, you know. Good Boy, I can tell the budget was a problem. It's not necessarily that it looked cheap. It just there was not a lot to chew on here. Not no pun intended. Good Boy was not scary. It had such a cool concept too. The horror movie story told through the perspective of a dog. I was so hyped for this. I saw this opening night. It's just not good. It wasn't scary. Not the best delivery. I'm gonna put Good Boy as a low D. Nah, I liked it more than Wolfman. Yeah, it had more heart than any of these films, but I think I could probably find myself a little bit with more enjoyment in Opus. Until Dawn, dude, another D. Fuck. This lineup's insane, dude. 2025, what are we doing? I reviewed this on the channel, spoiler for review, take a look at it. There's one character in this film that deadass turns this entire movie into legitimate comedy gold. I forget the actor, I forget the character, but I talked about it in the video. I would actually rewatch this film just for that person alone. Other than that, not good. The Gorge. Now this is a low C. This one's okay. It wasn't horrible. Cheesy. I think Sigourney Weaver's in this, right? Or is it Jodie Foster? I think Sigourney Weaver is in it. But yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, Miles Teller. It's okay. Climb the Cornfield, another D. Dude, this movie's just here, man. Oh my god, this is low-key an F, to be honest. It's a slasher. It's got something to do with generations and shit. I don't care. We'll put it low D for now. The parenting, low D. Bro, this movie has an actor from Succession, not Better Call Saul. Well, technically Better Call Saul too, but Breaking Bad and The Sopranos. And it's not that good. It's got Parker Posey and it's not that good. So The White Lotus too. Oh my god. Horror comedy. This one's got some heart in it. Gay characters. I wish I could support my LGBTQ brothers and sisters, but I mean, come on, y'all. The parenting. Let's do better. But yeah, horror comedy. It's got some funny bits. I do like Parker Posey. I think she's the best part about the whole film. But you know, probably a skip. In fact, if I were to rename this genre, these are skips really. And then this is just ass. Should we rename? Nah. It is what it is. Ash, another D. Oh my god. Am I being too nice? Or some? Let me look real quick. Are some of these? Oh yeah, that's F. Oh no, this is good. Good that these are all D, because a lot of these are about to become Fs. The Woman in the Yard, just not good. The Woman in the Yard is really bad, but you can tell it wanted to tell something serious. It dealt with such a real, genuine human problem, or like an aspect of the human condition, but it's just terribly acted. It's not well acted. The story, very bare bones, and a lot of people, I think, actually did like this film. I don't know how it did on reviews on Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic, but I think Red Letter Media gave it some praise. I think some of the reviewers I follow on Twitter and Letterboxd, that I respect their opinions, they thought it was great. I don't know, maybe I gotta rewatch it, but I remember just thinking, this is just kind of bad. Like, the story was just so underwhelming. Obviously, the acting from the child actors, it just was not that good, but I mean, the child actors, my opinion, shouldn't even be in a fucking movie. Not them specifically, any child actor. Like, it's a child, why do they have a job? But I digress. But yeah, I wasn't vibing with the story. Same with him. Another big disappointment. Everyone thought this was a Jordan Peele film. It's not. He produced it, did not direct it. I think Justin Tipping directed this. This movie has an interesting cast with Marlon Wayans and this actor, I forget his name, but he's also in I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is crazy because this is an awesome F tier. What are we doing? 2 dog shits back to back, same year. This was the sequel, remake, remastered bullshit. This movie was terrible. This might be the most boring film of the year. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Him has one of the most bizarre final acts of the year. Bad. Both these, I can't reiterate how bad they are. And I sound like such a negative Nancy, such like a contrarian, and I'm sorry, but again, I gave you the warning. 2025, I thought was a mid-year for horror cinema. This is a crazy lineup. Conjuring, Last Rites, Cheeks Magunda. This was a terrible way to end the Hard Eyes. I did not like this at first. I'm warming up to it. Dude, I'm thinking about putting Hard Eyes in D and dropping Ash to F. Ash was directed by Flying Lotus. I talked about this already in my best and worst of 2025 video. Oof. Let's see. Let's just see. I'm a visual person. Let's see. Ash F. Is it? It's either a high F or low. I'm gonna put it low D. I'm not gonna be that mean. I'm gonna put Hard Eyes low D too. These are both bordering on F. These are Martin. Oh my God. Thank God. Oh, Marshmallow. We got a good movie again, y'all. This is S. This is straight up S. This is how you do a low budget indie film right. This. I was gonna say amazing. Then I was gonna say awesome. It's amazing. Such a fun sci-fi horror film that has good child actors. It's very funny. It's not too scary, but it's fun. It's campy. It's got such a great ending. I'm not even gonna say what it is, but it's got one of the best final acts, best endings of the year so far. The less you know about Marshmallow, the better it is. Don't expect something too terrifying. Expect a fun, sort of creepy sci-fi horror movie about a couple of kids on a camp. I'll just keep it at that. Just know I have it in S tier. One of my favorites of the year. 20 years later, thank God we're doing good. Oh, we're back to the good movies. Okay. Is this A or S? I know a lot of people are yelling at the screen right now. Swans, it's S. It's either low S or high A. We could put S. We could put S. We could put S. I don't mind. It's good. This is a great add-on in the franchise. This is Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, the writer and director of the first film, 28 Days Later, which I think came out 2002. I could be wrong on that. Someone fact-checked me. Or maybe I'll fact-check me. I don't know. But yeah, 28 years later, cool-ass concept. Very much inspired by like The Last of Us and even Attack on Titan. I'm super excited for part 2, which comes out kind of worrisome. It does come out in January of 2026. Like I said, January is when all the bad movies usually come out. That's not always the case, though. We got Royal Jenny Penn, came out 2025, January. Solid movie. But yes, part 2 comes out in January in like 2 months, 2-3 months. November, lost my mind. About 2 months from now. And it's not directed by Danny Boyle, so we're a little worried, but we have hope. Because 28 years later was a very fun, intense, post-apocalyptic, crazy horror film. And it's actually pretty intense and pretty scary at times. So I do not mind putting this as good movie. Presence. This was a Steven Soderbergh, bro. This is Steven Soderbergh. This is an A. This is a low A. Ooh, is it? Or is it a high B? Nah, it's... ooh. Now we think. I'm gonna put this A. I'm gonna put this low. I actually really like this. I thought this was very cool. It's a horror film told through the perspective of a ghost. Like, the camera is the POV of a ghost. You're like floating and shit, just following the characters in this house. It's a hit or miss for a lot of people. Some people are gonna think it's very boring and it drags. I thought it was very cool and creepy and eerie at times. And what he's able to do with the camera and the camera work, I think, is not like revolutionary, but I thought it was very interesting and cool and unique to witness. It felt like an experience. I saw this in theaters and I just felt fucking immersed. Like, oh shit, this is cool. I don't see this a whole lot. Experimental horror film. Steven Soderbergh is a talented goat. We do not mind putting this at A. This could be an A. Death of a Unicorn, another A24 flop this year. This is a D. This was it might be yeah, this is a D. I like this more than Dangerous. I think I like this more than Wolfman. Yeah, high D. High D. This is okay. Together, Dave Franco, Alison Brie, another body horror film. This year had a couple body horror. It's either low A or high B. I'm gonna put this high B. This is pretty good. I did a review on this, spoiler-free review on this. I think I also did it with Eddington. I think I did a 2-in-1. Get more thoughts on that in that video, but I thought Together was pretty cool. I think it has one of the best final shots of the year. Extremely freaky, to say the least. Body horror-wise, it does have some pretty cool concepts. Yeah, like I said, more thoughts on my spoiler-free review. But lastly, ladies and gentlemen, Weapons. Zach Cregger. The best horror film of the year so far. I don't give a fuck. A lot of people are gonna hate on that, and a lot of people are gonna say Swans TV. That movie was overrated as shit. That was not scary. It was this. It was that. It was this. Well, let me tell you. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're dumb. You don't shower too often. You don't brush your teeth that much, and you're not very accustomed to deodorant. You're lazy. Let me tell you about Weapons. Weapons is one of the best films of the year. If I said Sinners top 10, this is top 5, and I won't apologize for that. I won't. I don't want to overhype it too much. I don't want to say too much because I do want to do a breakdown, spoiler-filled analysis video. But I fucking adored Weapons. I thought it not only matched the hype, because this was this year's long legs in terms of the hyped horror film of the year, but to me it surpassed it. It's not a perfect film. It's not a 10 out of 10. But it's a damn good movie. I dare to say it is the most consistently scary film out of this whole list. Now, mind you, I haven't seen every single horror film that came out in this year. I think I've seen a good amount. The only big horror film I missed, I think The New Strangers, because I'm not a fan of The Strangers. I think all the films are pretty bad. I won't even say all of them, because I haven't seen Chapter 1. I've seen the first one, the original, 2008, and I've seen the 2018 one. Both... so I don't plan on seeing Chapter 2. Maybe I'll catch it before the end of the year. But I'm looking at this list right now, and I'm feeling comfortable. The only ones I'm kind of iffy are these two. These might be F. I don't know. But these are... I'm more than comfortable saying these are all F. These are all... The Woman in the Yard's not the worst. Hold on. Let's change it up. Let's rearrange this F real quick. I think Coyotes and him are probably the least the worst out of these, so we'll keep those... Woman in the Yard, I think we'll put right here. And we'll do that. Yeah, I think I Know What You Did Last Summer is the worst horror film of the year. I think Weapons is the best. I think these are all amazing horror films right here for one reason or another. This is the scariest. This is probably the most, not ambitious, but the most fun I've had. It's definitely, I love the switch up from one act to the other. One battle after another. Best movie of the year so far. Marshmallow, super fun. I fucking love it. Just felt like a love letter to adolescence while also just being such a cool sci-fi concept. I'm not going to spoil anything, bro, but watch Marshmallow, please. 28 years later, amazing. Also, I think it falls under sci-fi, right? Because it's like zombies and shit. Post-apocalyptic. I don't know if that falls under sci-fi, but I was going to say another great sci-fi horror film. But even if it's not, great horror film. Probably the most intense. Probably the most intense, chaotic horror film of the year. I'm feeling good about this list. But as you can see, like I said, most of them were... It's not as bad as I thought it was. Definitely mid-year, but I thought we weren't going to get as many in the B and A and the S. So, visually saying this, you got the Gorge right here, the Gorge. Yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think that does it for this video. I freaking love movies. I've seen a lot this year. I plan on seeing at least 100 by the end of the year so I can make a top 20 best films of 2025 and then a top 10 worst films of 2025 video by the end of the year. Swans family, we're back. Shout out Max Holloway, the greatest UFC fighter of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any recommendations for any video you want me to make, by all means, comments. And as always, I will see you at the next one.